weeks, Missouri becomes the next ballot box battleground in the fight for abortion access.
429, and welcome back to the Tim Jones and Chris Arp Show. And Tim, as we talked about before we went to break, this is a big decision before the voters in November, deciding do we want to be a state where we allow abortion up until birth and afterwards. We have on the line with us Pam Fichter. She's president of Missouri Right to Life. I think this is her first time on the show. Pam, welcome to the Tim Jones and Chris Arp Show.
Oh, thanks so much, Tim and Chris. It's just great to be with you, and appreciate so much your covering this issue, and you're covering it so solidly. I've listened to you, and very grateful for what you're saying on this.
Thank you so much. I'm on your website right now, Missouri Right to Life, and you have a section that says there are 10 reasons to oppose the pro-abortion initiative petition. Number 9 looked interesting to me, and I would like for you to explain. You said that number 9 was a significant financial loss to Missouri. Missouri could suffer significant loss to state and local revenue if this language is enshrined in the Missouri Constitution. Can you explain that?
Well, look at the death of 20,000 people a year, and 20,000, and the economic impact of having a child. Just what people buy when they have children, and the money that they spend to support their families. When you destroy families, you destroy your economy, and abortion destroys families.
Pam, I would definitely urge folks to go to MissouriLife.org and really learn, even if you're someone who's maybe a little more moderate or on the fence about this issue. Pam, this is not the proposal to support, right? 2 of the reasons that I see on here that are really terrifying, that of course the proponents of this are not going to tell you, are that parental consent laws will be eliminated, absolutely gone. And this proposal provides for abortion access all the way through all 9 months of a pregnancy. Very dangerous, actually, to the life of the mother, isn't it?
I'll tell you, Tim, when I look at the language of this amendment, and we do have it on our website, but MissouriLifePAC.org, we have the language on there. It's hard to come up with just one part of it that is more radical than another. The language says things like the government shall not deny or infringe upon a person's fundamental right to reproductive freedom. And then it lists things, but it says, but not limited to. But what is reproductive health care? I mean, that even covers gender affirming care. And it also says that no person shall be penalized, prosecuted, or otherwise subjected to adverse action based on what they do with a expectant mother. So, there's no parental restrictions or parental rights in this. It's going to eliminate all of the 60 laws that the pro-life people have worked for 50 years to pass in Missouri. All of the protections that we've established in statutes for women and for children. This is the most extreme measure that's ever been proposed. And we certainly urge your listeners to go to our website, but to look at the actual language of it. It is just incredibly extreme.
Speaking with Pam Fichter, she's the president of Missouri Right to Life. The website is MissouriLife.org. One thing that I learned yesterday or this week on the Mike Ferguson in the Morning Show, when one of your representatives was on his show, was this thing that's enshrined in this ballot language that says that a woman will lose the ability to sue for malpractice. Talk about that.
Well, it says in the language, it says no person shall be penalized, prosecuted, or otherwise subjected to adverse action based on their actual potential perceived or alleged pregnancy outcomes. Well, if you can't prosecute somebody for injuring a woman who has an abortion, I mean, she's not going to be able to sue for injuries. And I can't, you have to, the language isn't that long for people to look at it. It also says the government shall not discriminate against persons providing or obtaining reproductive health care, which includes this whole whole area, a whole list of things, and including gender care and abortion, or assisting another person in doing so. There's no age restrictions here. There's no parental consent required. I think about, the girls that are being sex trafficked. Does that mean that Missouri would become a destination state for sex traffickers? There's, when you don't have any parental consent, when you have no age restriction, when you have no regulations that protect women and parents, it's not anything you can imagine. It specifies it here. And if you can't discriminate in funding, does that mean that taxpayers are going to be paying for it? So, I think the fact that this is going to allow abortion for the full 9 months without parental consent, with no restrictions or regulations, opening the door to taxpayer funding, it is going to victimize women and children and babies. We can never forget what an abortion is, that it destroys the life of an innocent human being in the womb. So this is a very, very extreme measure. The language is very deceptive. It is totally open-ended, that they can basically do whatever they want. So we urge voters to be informed and to reject this proposal.
Folks, we'd heavily encourage you to go to MissouriLifePAC.org and share all the great resources there with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your coworkers. There's tons of great information. There's an entire legal analysis of the proposal. There's the proposal itself. There's the 10 reasons to vote no, so on and so forth. Pam, how should people running for office address this issue, and in general address the pro-life message? If they are pro-life minded legislators in a post-Roe world, in a Dobbs world, we got so used to, I think, having one set of messaging for the last 50 plus years, and now we're in a whole different world now. And so what is your advice to people running for office as to how they should not only address this horrific proposal, but just pro-life versus abortion in general?
Well, I urge legislators and everyone to be educated on the life of an unborn child, when that child can feel pain, when that child's heart beats, and understand that, to sanction the destruction of a living human being at one stage affects the sanctity of life at all stages. And I think that we need to look for ways, that things that we all agree on, that, abortion for the full 9 months is outrageous, but all abortions in the life of an unborn child. So we urge everybody to be educated on that, and to look into your heart and understand the damage that abortion does to society, to families, and to individuals.
All right, Pam, let's lighten it up a little bit. Next Tuesday, Missouri Right to Life has a 50th anniversary gala dinner, and you have a very prominent featured speaker. Tell us all about it.
Yes, we're so pleased that former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is going to be our keynote speaker, and it's going to be at the St. Charles Convention Center on Tuesday night. And urge anyone that hasn't already signed up, we're getting to be a full house here, but to go on mrlbanquet.com. That's mrlbanquet.com, and register and come to our event. It's going to be a lively evening. It's going to be a fun evening, and you'll be surrounded with like-minded people and people that cherish life.
That's going to be a fantastic event indeed at the very beautiful St. Charles Convention Center. Missouri Right to Life's 50th anniversary gala dinner, Tuesday, August 27th. Pam, I'm going to keep it positive as well. There are many who say that those of us on the pro-life side of the world, that the only thing we focus on is the birth of the baby, and then we couldn't give a rip after that. That's not true at all, Pam, is it? And especially over the last few decades, there has been a concerted effort to assist moms and dads, families in need. Whereas, now pro-life groups like Missouri Right to Life and the pregnancy resource centers and all the other opportunities are out there. It's really a holistic view, right, of taking care of that mom, of that dad, of that child for years after that baby is born, right, and to get them into a productive member of society, right? I think that has been a huge transition over the last many years. Talk about that.
Absolutely. And, the Missouri legislature has been wonderful in supporting things like the alternatives to abortion funding, like the Show Me Healthy Babies, like the tax credits for pregnancy resource centers. I mean, we know that we need to help women in crisis pregnancies at their greatest hour of need. And there's wonderful agencies out there that are doing just that. These are people that are standing in the gap and giving women real choices for life, helping fathers learn how to father their children and be a part of that family and form those families. But all of these things like the tax credits and the abortion funding for alternatives to abortion and Show Me Healthy Babies, those are all in great danger if this amendment passes, because they're going to require that there's no discrimination in funding. So I don't know if we'll be able to fund those things if we don't also fund abortions. So yes, but we're very proactive in Missouri and want to help women and after they have their children, to help them have healthy lives and have them have a healthy and happy life in our beautiful state.
Pam, and before we let you go, I want you to give a shout out to your Champion Life Award recipients for this year. Those of us in the conservative movement, the pro-life movement, are very familiar with these names and with these organizations, and they will be receiving awards this Tuesday, which are well deserved.
Yes, these are the people that are doing exactly what I just said. They are standing in the gap and giving women real choices. We're so pleased to be able to honor Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life, Bridget Van Means with Thrive Nation, and Peggy Forrest with Our Ladies In. These people have been doing wonderful work and saving lives for many years.
And that is the Missouri Right to Life 50th Anniversary Gala this Tuesday, August 27th at the St. Charles Convention Center, 1 Convention Center Plaza. You can still get your tickets at mrl.eastern@yahoo.com, or you can go to the website missourilife.org. Pam, thank you so much for telling us about this initiative petition, this important petition that we should all vote against, telling us about the gala dinner, and we wish you the best of luck, and we hope this won't be the last time you're on the show.
I hope so, too, and thanks so much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Pam.
Pam Fichter, president of Missouri Right to Life. They are doing some good work there, Tim. And Mike Pompeo, that's a pretty good snag.
That's a pretty good get.
To get as a speaker for next Tuesday. So if you want